Yesterday in Abia media space, the word metropolis had different meanings, different interpretations. Of course, clarifications were needed because of one particular press release by the Abia state government. Well, did we get that clarification this morning? There is a clarification coming from the government of Abia state concerning Okada ban in this state. Glad to have you join us this morning. Basket full of hot potatoes. As you know, that's what we do every 8:30 a.m. Down till 10 a.m. The conversation never stops right here on Enyimba 94.3 FM. Abba. Of course, we talk from morning till evening, and we bring up important issues so that you will be better informed on some of the things happening in Nigeria, especially Abia State. Welcome on board. It's another edition of the program Issues and Views right here on Enyimba 94.3 FM. We're streaming live as usual on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Enyimba 943 FM. You can also join the conversation on the YouTube page today. We're streaming on our YouTube page, youtube.com/Enyimba TV. Also join the conversation on the WhatsApp platform 0809-666-0943. All right. So let's begin the conversation. My name is Michael Oni.
And I am Mary Ihejurika.
Okay, this morning you can call me Mazi because I'm putting on a red cap. That's actually, that's how we roll anyways. Of course, showcasing our culture. So let's begin the conversation. As usual, I'll run through some of the stories that we have for you this morning. The State Executive Council in Abia State met yesterday. Some resolutions were reached. We're also going to share that with you. But at that resolution, some decisions were taken where the government is warned security agencies not to extort innocent residents over the Okada ban, and clarifications were made concerning the metropolis issue, that the ban is in Abame and Umuahia metropolis, and the government said the ban is only in the metropolis and not the hinterland. Anyway, so we'll do the analysis when we get to that point of the program this morning, even as those that their houses will be demolished in Umuahia for road expansion, the Osa to Tower in Umuahia, they will start receiving compensation according to the government. The demolition has been shifted by 3 weeks now, so it's not going to happen immediately.
It's supposed to have started this week.
Okay.
So, but I think it's they're moving it. They have their reasons, which is actually pertinent, especially to the owners of the buildings. So.
Okay. Even as the tribunal has reserved judgment in the petitions challenging the deputy speaker, he's from Abia State, Benjamin Kalu, and the shocking one yesterday, NLC is threatening fresh strike over further fuel price hike. We shared with you that the prices or the landing cost of petrol might go up. And the NLC is saying, hey, if it goes up, we will go on strike without notification, without notice. Let's see how that goes. Even as we understand that diesel price has hit 950 naira per liter, and manufacturers, of course, they are the ones bearing the brunt, and there are fears of job losses. CBN governor met with President Tinubu yesterday over the rising exchange rate of the naira to the dollar, and even as the Nigeria Air Force helicopter on evacuation mission crashes in Niger State. Sorry, not in Nigeria. We are here to go to Niger.
Yes.
Now, Michael, why are you so fast? Your mouth is fast. It's Niger.
I think it's because of the spelling.
Oh,
the spelling is the same thing, but pronounced differently.
Yes. I'm so fast. I want us to go to Niger.
Calm down.
And there is a probe on the helicopter shutdown claim by bandits. Some tabloids reported that it was shot down by bandits. We cannot confirm that. Enyimba FM cannot confirm that, but the Air Force has launched a probe into that to know if it was really shot down by bandits. And some APC ex-deputy governors went to their headquarters yesterday to protest their exclusion from the NEC meeting, even as there was drama at the Anambra State House of Assembly. A legislator was barred from entering the assembly complex with a tricycle, keke, a lawmaker in the House of Assembly.
Okay.
Yes.
He came with a tricycle.
Don't worry. We will get to that point. He came to the assembly with a tricycle. He was protesting, actually. Said the state government has refused to give them official car. So he decided to buy tricycle to the complex. The security men there said, this keke cannot enter this complex. Said, that is what I can afford to get since you people have refused to give us official car. Don't worry, we'll get to that point this morning. Basket full of oh my God. Basket full of hot potatoes this morning. All right, join the conversation already. Keep your comments pouring in on the Facebook page, facebook.com/Enyimba 943 FM. Let's begin the conversation. As usual, we begin the conversation from Abia State. We place premium on Abia and Aba stories right here, and that's why we are the elephant in the city. So let's begin. Yesterday, we shared with you how the government has, banned Okada. That's the motorcycle. So it was part of the conversation during the State Executive Council meeting in Abuja, in Umar here, presided over by Governor Alex Oti. During the briefing, normally they sit, they have their conversation, the back and forth, some resolutions reached. Those resolutions will be shared to the State House correspondents. Yes. Our correspondent Kingsley Chibike was there, who monitored that State Executive Council. And one part that caught our attention is the clarification part about this Okada ban.
Okay.
Where are they going to? Where are the routes that are allowed, and which of those routes that are allowed?
Yes.
So, the Abia State government cautioned security agencies in the state against extorting innocent citizens and other residents while enforcing the ban on the commercial motorcycle operations. Prince Okekanu, the Commissioner for Information and Culture, briefed the journalist and advised security agencies to apply professionalism in carrying out their enforcement. And he said, emphasis on metropolis. Emphasis. Let's take a listen to how he constructed that statement.
We are well aware that before now there was a ban on the use of cycles, that's the one we call Okada, in the Aba and Umuahia metropolis. We wish to remind members of the public that that ban is still in place due to some, security breaches, particularly in Aba and Umuahia metropolis. The state government has decided to enforce, that ban only in the metropolis, with emphasis the metropolis, Umuahia metropolis and Aba metropolis. The ban, as it was put in place before now, does not extend to the hinterlands. But let me use this opportunity to inform our security agencies as well, particularly security agencies, that this government will not tolerate any form of extortion of members of the public or the citizens as well in the enforcement of this ban. The heads of the security agencies have been duly briefed to ensure that our security agencies eschew the idea of extorting money.
Prince Okekanu, the Commissioner for Information and Culture.
Well, I think that clarification was actually needed, because yesterday after we talked about it, lots of persons actually called in and they were trying to find out, because like we stated yesterday, it's not like it's a new law, it's something that has been there.
The commissioner also mentioned,
he mentioned it.
He said the state government is just reiterating the ban.
Yes. They're
But
still, they're still maintaining it. The first one, yes, looked like it was the first time.
It's not looked like. They said issuing a ban, which was the mistake we pointed out on the show yesterday.
Yes.
It was a
Yes.
mistake on their part. So
That
it's
has been in place.
It's about
not like
English
it's,
and it's contradictory, because the statement released by the chief press secretary, Kazeuko, is different from what the Commissioner for Information is saying here. The Commissioner for Information said that the ban has been there.
They're not
We're
oblivious
only
of it.
enforcing it.
Yes.
The chief press secretary said we are issuing a ban, placing a ban, more like a fresh order.
Yes, like it's the first time.
Yeah.
Yes, but I love the very fact that he actually clarified, and I also love the fact that he took his time to talk on security outlets, because sometimes when things like this happen, I remember when it was the issue of tricycle, they were giving curfew, I think from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. or was it 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. and I had a problem one time with one of them being on the road before 7 p.m. and you see some of them on the road before 7 p.m. and they will stop the tricycle and then try to delay you, try to waste your time till it gets to 7 p.m. so that it will look as if they actually caught you by that time, 7 p.m. So I think that note of warning is really necessary, so that whilst you're carrying out your duty, you don't take it out on innocent people. You don't go overboard. You don't harass people in the line of duty. So I actually love the fact that he gave out that warning. It's the right step in the right direction.
Okay, I will do my analysis from another statement released by the special advisor to the governor on media and publicity, Ferdinand Ekema, who said, let me quote, "For the purpose of clarity, the ban on the operations of commercial motorcyclists takes effect only at the city centers in Aba and Umuahia. Hence, the word metropolis was used. Those plying the routes outside the city centers are not affected by this directive." Let me run through that line again. Those plying the routes outside the city centers are not affected by this directive. Again, as mentioned in the previous release, the ban is only on commercial motorcyclists, not on private operators. I'm going to end that. I'm going to end it there, because he went for that to state some other things. But from there, one thing is for sure: it's only in the metropolis. Another thing is, where is the metropolis?
That's the question I wanted to ask.
Now, this is to drive
because
home.
that word is quite ambiguous somehow. So
Not really ambiguous, but you need to carve out a place and call it metropolis. Although, according to the dictionary, let me get because that has been the problem right from yesterday. The dictionary says a very large and busy city.
Yes.
Which
That's what I
means
saw.
it's everywhere.
Yes.
Right? So it is important to carve out where the government is calling metropolis, because the government is saying not the hinterland.
Yes.
We also have hinterland in these
Metropolis.
two cities.
You know why I
Right.
actually
So,
said is ambiguous?
now-
It's for the layman.
It is important because of our security operatives. A lot of them, we have good ones, but a lot of them
Yes.
tend to be overzealous while discharging their duties. Somebody will now go to one place. I'm not so conversant with Aba, but I'm going to use Umuahia as an example.
Okay.
Somebody will now go to a place as far as a place like Ohia village. It's close to Umuahia, and arrest one motorcycle and say you are trespassing, which is also, you can count that, you can say that's hinterland, but it's in the capital. So it needs clarification. Further clarification should be given by the state government, so that you will know where to go to. Someone posted a picture of Opobo Junction, and another person on social media said, "Hey, Opobo Junction, no, that's Umunochi, no, this one is that." It has started already. That's this confusion is generating a lot of reactions already on the social media, which means the government needs to come out and state the roads that are affected and the ones that are not affected. If not, it's a crisis that is
really
building up.
Do you think it's actually going to be easy for the government to actually, state road by road, street by street, and all that in different parts of Aba?
When it happened in Lagos, they did. They should.
Because I'm just looking at the different streets and roads.
It is the job of the government to clarify.
I know that in area markets, there are some parts of area markets where these motorcyclist guys, where they ply.
Is area not Aba?
It's Aba.
Exactly. That is the reason the government needs to clarify.
True.
It's Port Harcourt Road, not Aba.
It is. Ohank Road is Aba. All those places. It's true.
There is need for them to clarify it and also enlighten the police guys.
Yes.
I remember when the governor inaugurated the Operation Crush. This was the same issue.
Yes.
And it speaks a lot about the decadence that you find in the force.
Yes.
It is all encompassing. It is affecting all sectors of the economy. And these guys in uniform tend to vent their anger on the civilians because they are one step ahead. With that weapon, they are a step ahead of the civilians.
True.
And they tend to use that force to vent their anger on the civilians. Every day we talk about extortion in the city of Aba, clamping down on innocent citizens. And sometimes you get to find out what is really their problem. A lot of them need psychological evaluation, need to evaluate them again.
And that brings me back to the point of what they actually, I don't know, I'm not in the force, but that brings me back to the question of how they are trained and the orientation that is being given to them during training, because they need to know that having a weapon is not a means to kind of harass a civilian or something. So some of them feel so powerful when they carry that weapon and they feel like they can do whatever they want. So that brings me back to that question: what kind of orientation and training do they actually give to them?
Okay, let's talk about other issues that were raised yesterday during the State Executive Council meeting in Abia State. The government has finally shifted the actual date of commencement of demolition of affected structures at the proposed Osa to Tower Road expansion by 3 weeks. And there was a meeting with those affected, the affected community and the community leaders there. And it was fruitful, according to the Commissioner for Information, Prince Okekanu, who added that the notice as to how much compensation to be paid to the owners of the affected structures would be issued soon. Let's take a listen to the Commissioner.
There have been a lot of engagement between the Honorable Commissioner for Lands and Housing and the affected community. Those consultations are ongoing and they've been fruitful. I want to announce that the notice with regards to how much compensation will be paid to those affected, the notice to that effect will be issued very soon. Like I once announced here, after the enumeration of structures on that road, those affected, government decided to pay some compensation to those who are affected. Due verification, those who own those properties will be duly compensated. The actual date for the commencement of demolition of affected structures has been moved forward by about 3 weeks.
There you have it. The price you pay for urbanization, if I can put it that way. We also shared with you that some houses will be demolished, some structures will be demolished because of the road expansion that this administration has setting that has commenced. But the thing is, it's the opposition PDP, they've been so vocal. They are also using this against the present government. Say, hey, a government that has the love of its people at heart shouldn't embark on demolition of structure at a difficult time like this. While the government came out in defense to say it is a price you pay for urbanization, they will be properly compensated.
Yes.
But the thing is, another angle that the opposition is looking at it is that why in a hurry Why don't you take it in gradual
Process.
process? Maybe that is the reason for the extension, so as to allow these people affected to be relocated or to relocate themselves. About 160 structures
Yes.
will be affected. Don't forget that shops are there. Shops are there where people earn their living, their daily activities, and they make money. Houses are there, meaning some families will be permanently displaced. Where you've stayed for years. Then the level of compensation should also be looked into. Will it be commensurate?
Yeah.
That's another angle. This is a burning issue for those that are based in Umar here. It's been back and forth, the political coloration, which is also expected, at this point in time.
Well, according to the Commissioner for Lands and Housing, Mr. Chaka Chukwumerije, he revealed that a total of 160 structures are affected, and that the structures have been valued, and looking at compensations being paid in tranches, and that the date was moved in order to allow people that are affected to relocate. Actually, the only issue I have with what is going on is because I think we had this experience during the past administration. We still have houses.
That's the Port Harcourt Road, right?
Yes, we still have houses that were demolished, and nothing yet is being done in those places. You just see people's houses demolished and all that, and so like you said, if they are going to be compensated and it's going to be commensurate with what they are about to lose, at the end of the day, and that after the demolition we would actually see the work in progress, because it's one thing to demolish, it's another thing to actually do the work. Like I said, the past administration, we witnessed something like that. So
here in Aba,
there are in Aba, there are prices to pay. The truth. Let's be candid to ourselves. There are prices to pay when you want a better government. That's the truth. Sometimes it's not going to be comfortable. Sometimes it could affect each and every one of us, But at the end of the day, the question is, what are we looking at to get? What is the end product? That's the question. So long as those people, I might not really understand how they are feeling, because I'm not affected. But so long as
the community leader, I think it was last week, said they should be paid their compensation before they begin to demolish. The traditional ruler, I'm trying to get his name now, that before they try to demolish anything, it's painful. It's a painful thing.
And I agree with what he said. They should. If you are telling people to leave their places of business and their residential areas and all that, I mean, where are you sending them to? You have to pay them so that they can find their way. You can't just send someone out of their place of residence and just leave them. Are they going to become homeless? So I agree with what the person said. They should be compensated before you start the demolition. They should have somewhere else to go to, something else to fall back on before you can start the demolition.
That project is a 6-lane road, right? I think we shared that with you too on this platform. That was sometimes in July that the governor said he has concluded arrangement to build the first ever 6-lane road in the capital city, Osa Ring Umuahia, from the Enugu Port Harcourt Express Tower Junction to Michael Okpara Square, right inside the Umuahia city center. And houses will be affected, shops will be affected, and about 160 structures have been earmarked for demolition. So that's it as it stands now about that. So we move on. Some other issues were raised at the State Executive Council that additional 12 general hospitals will be rebuilt and fully equipped before the end of this year. 3 ongoing the 3 senatorial districts that we have in the state, and the 3 will be ready by the end of this month, hopefully to be commissioned too, and some other issues. And some Abians in diaspora have indicated their willingness to collaborate with the state government to provide quality healthcare services to Abians. And so that's it about that. I think that's all we have from the Abia State government and the government house about the State Executive Council. And you've been well informed about some decisions that have been taken on your behalf, all right, as the governed. So let's move on now. Let's talk about court matters in Umuahia too. Yesterday, the tribunal reserved judgment. When they say tribunal reserves judgment, It means the tribunal will communicate the day of judgment to the parties involved. It's the issue of National Assembly Election Petitions Tribunal in Umuahia, and this one has to do with the number 6 man in Nigeria, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, in person of Benjamin Kalu. A 3-man panel of judges led by Samuel Paul Gang said the date of judgment will be communicated to the parties in the petition. Frank Chinasa took him to court and cited discrepancies in his certificates. And of course, Kalu defended himself and said, hey, according to the law, I didn't err. I have gazetted it, all the certificates in the deed pool, the name pool, according to the law. So let's take a listen to lawyers of both parties and have an idea of what happened yesterday at the court in Umuahia.
The certificates the man was claiming had 9 certificates with 9 different names. And we say nobody can claim that those certificates belong to him. It is that he should be disqualified on the fact that none of the 9 certificates can be said to belong to him.
The petitioners are raising issues that are not concerned in that judgment. For example, in that case, PDP against AG, they said that the Supreme Court said that in view of that judgment that Benjamin Kalu is not qualified because he did not properly change his name. But the Supreme Court, in that same case, the Supreme Court said that you can change your name properly by virtue of a deed poll and official gazette and publishing same in official gazette of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that was what he did.
So that's it about that.
I'm not really sure that when it comes to politics in this country, we are going to have the last of issue that has to do with certificate this, certificate that. That would always come to play anytime, any day. And this is why I would actually advise people, if you have intentions of actually going into politics in the long or short run, you really need to be careful. Make sure that whatever you are doing, your certificate, whatever it is at all you are venturing into, because we have seen it come out every time there is election, political issues. There is always the issue of certificate this paper doesn't tally, this one is not in consonant with this one, this and that. So I don't see that ending anytime soon in the country. It keeps happening.
Yeah. So we'll take a break. When we return, we'll talk about this fresh threat by NLC. Comments are already pouring in on that. People are not so happy. This NLC.
I love fresh threats. This is not the first one. This one is the
fresh one now. No be today now. No be today. They don't the back.
I'm telling you.
But will the backing yield anything? That's the thing. Ufomba Chinomso on our Facebook page says, good morning, Enyimba. NLC, we can't put our hope in that your basket again. It is not a basket of hot potatoes. And he said, do whatever that pleases you guys. Chinomso Dennison says, okay, I'm just looking at messages relating to NLC. But when we return, we talk about NLC, the fresh threats by NLC, and this time around they don't want to even notify Nigerians. They will just go on strike, bam, just like that, straight up. It is Issues and Views right here on Enyimba 94.3 FM. Abba. And now, Issues and Views.
Everything you put your hand go walk. Your name go open doors. You self go be a boss.
Hooray! Yes!
It's time to celebrate your 3-in-1 radio stations.
Enyimba 94.3 FM,
Legend 98.3 FM,
and Rose 101.9 FM. Abba will be marking their 1-year anniversary of commencement of commercial broadcasting on Wednesday, 16th of August, 2023, in the city of Abba.
Indeed.
For 1 year, we have redefined the media airspace in this part of the world,
bringing to you the very best in entertainment, information, and education on our 3-in-1 radio station.
With innovative, captivating, and exciting programming. On Enyimba 94.3 FM, we keep you updated with global news, current affairs, and special presentations covering various aspects of life, including sports and our proud cultural heritage. That's why we are more than a radio.
Legend 98.3 FM treats you to classic and contemporary music, entertainment, and lifestyle, designed specially to showcasing the best in you.
Rose 101.9 FM is committed to putting a smile on your face with special programs on family, love, relationship, and religion, among others.
We have come a long way with you in the last 1 year, yet the journey has just begun.
As we continue to serve you with optimum radio experience like never before. Together, we can fly even higher, and we say thank you for your devotion and patronage.
Enyimba FM,
Legend FM, and Rose FM. Abba, your 3-in-1 radio stations are licensed to Enyimba TV and Radio Limited. And now, issues and views.
We have less than 24 hours to our outdoor show that will take place at Abba Sports Club tomorrow. Yes, indeed, this program will be live. And we will also have a live audience that will participate and will form part of the conversation that we will definitely have tomorrow on the show. Well, it is in commemoration of our anniversary. Tomorrow will be that day, that particular day that we started commercial broadcasting in Abia State. This period last year was a period of test transmission. We're on playing music, telling people to tell us about our signal. I remember preparing for the morning show this time. Yeah. Anyways, we're working on our jingles. Very interesting experience then back in the day. You're smiling.
Because I don't know what to say.
I know, because you don't know what to say. You're smiling. It's okay. Well, for those that joined us right from the start, I'm talking about you. You're very important. We do appreciate you, the love and the support you've given us so far. And well, of course, we will not let you down. We've got more we're packaging for you in terms of content. We're not relaxing. This morning at 11 o'clock, should I let the cat out of the bag?
I think since
we've got the Mystery Man show. Some persons will be winning something this morning.
Is it some persons or?
Yeah, we have 2 locations.
Okay. Oh.
Our sister station, Legend FM, did 1 location.
Okay.
I said no. We must do 2 locations. Yeah.
I know.
They must always play catch up to us. You know. Yeah. We are the mother station. Don't mind me. A bit of pride. I beg you. All right. We're streaming live on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Enyimba 943 FM. You can also join the conversation on the YouTube page, youtube.com/Enyimba TV. All right. Daniel Kalu on the YouTube page is watching from South Korea. Watching Chao, my brother. Good morning to you. Keep it up. Thank you so much, Daniel, for joining us there on the page, and drop your comments as the program progresses. So let's talk about NLC and what NLC is saying this morning, right? I know you've lost trust in NLC. Can you just believe in our brothers and sisters in NLC that the threat is for real, at least for the very first time in a long time? We will do the analysis. So NLC is threatening to embark on a nationwide strike if the pump price of fuel sells above the current price of 617 naira. The Labour Center warned that the strike will be without any notification. Yes, indeed. NLC gave that warning through Joe Ajero. Comrade Joe gave the warning in Abuja during African Trade Union Alliance meeting. Although NNPC Limited is yet to make any official announcement of fuel price increase, we did the analysis yesterday that we should be expecting the pump price to go up
Yes.
from 617 to about 700, 750 because of the landing cost. You know,
Yes.
NNPC doesn't determine the price again.
Yes.
Licenses have been issued to private marketers who will in turn import the price, and the market price will be determined by the forces between the supply and demand. So as it stands now, NNPC is saying that, hey, those purported plans to further increase the pump price of petrol, which he expressed dismay that the development may cause additional and untold hardship on Nigerians. Let's listen to Comrade Joe.
As we are here now, they are contemplating increasing the price of pump price of petroleum products. And the Minister of Labour for some time now will only go to Minister of Justice to come up with a so-called injunction to hold the hands of Labour not to respond. But let me say this, Nigerian workers will not give any notice if we have not addressed the consequences of the last two increases, and we wake up from our sleep to hear that they have tampered with it again, prices.
Comrade Joe there. Interesting. First of all, we do not have a Minister of Labour yet, because he said, I believe he wanted to say the Ministry of Labour. In the way the government will just go straight to the Ministry of Justice, will just go straight to the court to get
It's
a
an
court
injunction.
injunction. That's it about that. Just a bit of clarification there. All right.
Well, I think before now, even when they went for that protest, I think sometime was it earlier this month, 2nd of August. That's when we had that protest. I never even believed that they were going to go on that, like they were going to go through with it, because it's not the first time NLC will come out to threaten the federal government and say we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And at the end of the day, we remember that very day they had a conversation with President Tinubu, and they came out to tell us, look at what the president said to us and all that. So as for NLC and their threats, as much as it doesn't even move some Nigerians, I'm sure it doesn't move the federal government as well. You know, when your word no longer holds water, do you understand what I'm saying? When they say something and the federal government say, don't worry, we know them, we can always sort them out. They need to come to the point where when they say something, they follow through, so that they will not be seeing them, because right now even some Nigerians are beginning to see them as toothless bulldog, you know, like you guys say something and you don't follow through and all that. But I think I totally agree with NLC on this particular one. Nigerians are going through a whole lot, and for us to have an increment in the price of fuel is not what we need at this point in time. If there is anything the federal government can do, they should actually step in and do it. And I'm still asking about the money that was, you know, according to the president, that has been saved since the removal of subsidy. What exactly is that money being put into? What exactly is the federal government doing with that money? So please, we don't need, if anything at all should happen, there should be a decrease in price and not an increase at all. We don't need it. We're going through a whole lot.
From my point of view, from the way I'm seeing it, NLC does not understand itself, and that is why I'm disagreeing with NLC on this one. Let's look at the new demand that they should push down the price, and they proposed. Who is pushing what down? This is pure economics, for crying out loud. I'm going to say something about that first. There is no place in the world, no economy in the world, that you will make some policies for things to get better, and you won't face this kind of hardship. But the thing is, the only problem is, what are you putting in place to cushion the effect of that hardship? And that is where NLC should look into. Is it that Joe Ajero doesn't understand the floating of naira, the meaning of floating of naira?
Well, can I ask you
when
a
you
question?
float naira, just a moment.
Okay.
When you float naira, you will face some very serious hardship, which is what we're facing now. Now the thing is, NLC should fight for palliatives. We should be talking about palliatives. These guys are just playing to the board. That's one. Two, they need to understand how economics work, because right now NNPC does not even determine the price of what is being sold in the market.
Yes, because
They don't determine the price. So who is it talking to? I mean, who are they talking to? Let me not direct the analysis to Comrade Joe Ajero so that it won't look like a personal vendetta. Who are they talking to reduce the price? It has been determined by the forces in the market and supply. They should be fighting so hard for the refineries to be repaired, not for them to be saying they should drop. Nobody will drop it. Let us face the fact. And government has never met agreement. That is why if you're demanding something from the government, you stay there. You stay there until they do it. Have you heard anything about the palliative again? Nothing. They threatened. They went on national protest. They pulled down the National Assembly gate. One day, second day, the president. That same day, president called them.
That's what I'm saying.
After the president called them, they withdrew to their shell, and they kept quiet. Now they are hearing that this will continue. God forbid that 1,000 naira is now $1. The pump price will still go up.
I don't understand what you mean by God forbid. How much is naira to $1 right
It's
now?
$9.50.
So what is
you know
God
why I'm
forbid
saying?
there?
Just a moment. Let me finish up the analysis. God forbid it will go up. It is until we manufacture, because an economy that is determined by foreign currency is a dangerous economy, and that is what we have in Nigeria. Dollar determines how things are done in the country. Dollar determines a lot in this country. We survive on dollar in this country, and that is because we don't manufacture. We import virtually everything. What is being exported in this country. Until we face that reality, and maybe we should start with what we have in abundance, which is the crude oil. Refine fix our refinery. That way naira will be able to fight dollar very well. Then this price will crash. He has floated it already. What do you expect? It will go up. This is simple economics that the NLC doesn't understand, and that they are saying we will go. It's an empty threat to me. It is just like NLC doesn't know what to do at this point. They just want to talk so that people will not say they are not talking. Nothing will happen. You can bet it with me. These guys are not. They are so unserious.
They are, but I really don't want to say that nothing will happen. What if they decide? What if this time around they actually decide to go on a strike? And
when they go on strike, you think the price of fuel will go down when dollar is going up?
I'm thinking possibly it could actually.
Why do you think diesel is 950 naira per liter? Because there is no subsidy on diesel. Why do you think the kerosene is up? There is no subsidy on kerosene.
I think the point that NLC is making is the very fact that they understand that there is something the federal government can do, that they can step in somehow to,
the only thing federal government can do is to provide palliative. And after providing palliative, they should make sure that we produce a lot of things that we export. That way, naira will gain its strength. But without that, things will keep getting harder.
That's the point
in the country, and that is what they should be looking at. They should be fighting for the refineries to be fixed.
See what I'm saying? See the angle I'm looking at it from. The point is, I understand the point you are making, but what I'm saying is, for NLC, their own is, however the government, whichever way the government are going to come in, what they want is for the government to come in. So that's why they are threatening them. If nothing is done about this, we are going to go on a strike. So whichever way you guys want to come into this thing and intervene, you guys should come into it and do something.
The World Bank have repeatedly recommended unifying exchange rates as part of comprehensive reforms, which the government is doing right now. There is no country in the world, like I said at the start of this analysis, that goes through such reform, stabilizing currency to enhance economic growth, that it is not a tortuous task. But how they manage it determines
how the people
will also feel it.
Yes.
We are not managing it well. It's a very good reform, but we are not managing it.
But the issue is
we shouted. I was watching the TV yesterday, and I followed the conversation of one professor. I wouldn't want to mention his name, when he said we shouldn't have bust the government to the corner to withdraw that 5,000 or 8,000 naira palliative. That it is something. Some people send 5,000 naira home. At the present economy, if you send 5,000 naira home, they will not give you the prayer. They will not do the normal prayer they should do for you. They will call you the next day to send more. So hold government accountable. Hold them to a point where they will release palliative that people will feel, to cushion the effect of the sacrifice that Nigerians are paying now, that will benefit Nigerians later. That is what NLC should be fighting for now, and make sure that they fix our refinery. Then we now start looking at other sectors of the economy like exporting rice and other things.
Can I ask you a question? Were you here in 2020? Were palliatives released? We heard that. Did you get any? The reason Nigerians are some persons are kicking against the palliative is because of what we have experienced in the past. As every possibility that these palliatives might not even get to the people it is intended to get to.
Yeah.
So what we are saying is make life better for us. That's why Nigerians are saying it's not just about palliatives. At the end of the day, will it get to the individuals that the palliatives are meant to get to? Are we going to actually have another case of, we don't know how it happened?
That is already in the works, because they wanted to use the social register that was inherited from Muhammadu Buhari's administration before the government now came out and said that social register has a defect. They said the state governors should go back and do their enumeration and know the poorest of the poor. They will provide palliative through that.
Yes.
We've not heard anything
since that
but
time.
Things are really biting hard. They need to hasten up. That is what NLC should be fighting for now. Not for you to come out. It shows he doesn't even understand what is going on with that statement he made, that you need to reduce the pump price. Who will reduce the